Miracles are seen in light. So this is a pretty interesting concept, but it is, in the same sense, exactly what we've been talking about. So the spiritual universe is an illuminated and transparent reality in which what seems to be the same kind of idea of the world, but everything is joined, connected, and through this energy. So it's a pretty interesting thing when you say miracles are seen in light. This is actually in reference to the illuminated reality. Okay, miracles are something that happen, like for an example, in dreams all the time. If things in dreams happened out here in this world, they would be miraculous and quite unusual and probably chaotic, right? Well, the spiritual universe doesn't have a gestation period within its manifestation like this one does. So it is actually a lot like a dream, and in that understanding of what you experience as a dream is a lot like the spiritual universe. Okay, so it almost manifests instantaneously, and that's what we are training to be in that perspective of. Okay, so the awareness of miracles is what changes. That means your awareness of the spiritual universe, where miraculous things happen constantly and all the time, is the only thing in which this course is working with. Your perception, your awareness of it. So your obsession, which is okay, don't worry about it too much, but your obsession with your resentments and grievances keep this world seeming physical. It's not actually physical. So through forgiveness and through letting and recognizing that the truth of yourself, are you able to discover what light is. Okay, so of course, yes, light is in every degree and recognition of what you might think that means. Light, miracles are seen in understanding. Miracles are seen in light bulbs. They're pretty cool. Miracles are seen in fire. You know, it really doesn't matter how you understand it, because those will always be degrees and steps into learning the totality of what it means. So even as I'm describing it and explaining it to you, these are only steps in understanding it. No matter what, you will always have more, because the spiritual universe is an endless variation, kind of a fractal decisions, where it's always adding to it, it's always spiraling in and out, and so you live by a decision you make within one of those fractals. It is forever lived in the next, say, 2,000 years of fractals of experience. So it's a pretty remarkable thing that when we are branching out of what decisions have made, we're literally having a transformation of what our world is and what we are, and experiencing it completely different. So let's specifically focus on miracles are seen in light. The body's eyes do not perceive the light, but I am not a body. What am I? Now, if this is your first time through the lessons, there are a lot of lessons coming up that do discuss about I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. Now this course, or this specific lesson, gets into you need a real experience of what's beyond the body. Not just some artificial thing, and you can't just go by concepts. This is the time that you really need a real experience. But don't get discouraged if you don't think you have one, because you have more than you think you do. You have far more. I mean, the whole reason you're doing this course is because you've had unusual, miraculous, spiritual experiences, right? You have them under your belt there somewhere. And that's the thing, is like, it's your awareness to the miracles are there all the time. You just have to see the spiritual universe that's there all the time. Just like in a dream, it's happening all the time. Things poofing into existence and coming out and changing into different things and shifting and and curring all over the place. I think I said curting there. Yes, curting is a miracle. But we like to hold to definitions. We want to expect something. And so as we've been taught with science and stuff and these ideas, this is something that you expect. So this faith that you have is something that you're already want. You already expect it. So to bring up curding, I guess curdling, like cheese, turning it, like molding or milk, curdling. You expect this result when you're looking for it. You're like, is this milk rotten? You're expecting. That's why you smelt it. That's why you asked the questions, because it's something you already expected. So it's a pretty interesting thing that is faith. Assuming the floor is going to be there when you get out of bed, that is faith. We have faith in the physicality and not in our spirituality. That's why you keep experiencing physicality, because your faith is misdirected and turning. It's something that the battle that goes on throughout life, all this whole thing. I mean, I am not weak, I am but strong. I am not helpless but powerful. I am not limited but unlimited. These are easier to say. These are good, wonderful things. But and then in the actual experience of it, I mean, so often do we have still what I would say a strong Christian belief coming into A Course in Miracles, and people actually get into experience in times where they can experience the miracle, where they think darkness or scary things are happening, or people are getting scary or talking about scary concepts or something like that, and they don't say such things like, I cannot see in darkness but in light. And then we don't realize that this is a shifting thing that happens in our minds, that demons do not exist but in our minds. If we could see past our fears and our darkness of our minds, we would not see demons. We would see angels. Even as if we saw angels, we would still see angels. Everything, essentially, in the bodies, in any sort of shape and form, is not what it seems. This is all the lie in which you can't see past your own mind. You're not actually seeing out there. You're not actually seeing anything out there, even in dreams. You're seeing what's in your own mind.